Well, joining us now, a very special guest, Dr. Sasa, the Myanmar Special Envoy to the United Nations. Thank you, sir, very much for being with us. Are you satisfied with the efforts made thus far by India in dealing with the situation? It has come up in the United Nations General Assembly a couple of times, but would you like to see New Delhi do more?
I think as the largest democracy country in the world, India must show its leadership in this Myanmar crisis. India should not betray Myanmar people. 54 million people of Myanmar are waiting the leadership of India in this very critical time. We know that India is going to be the president of UN Security Council for next month, and India has the power to stop the bloody coup in Myanmar.
Dr. Sasa, what would you like India to do to stop the bloodshed?
Number one, they must stop all kind of cooperations with the bloody, brutal military generals who are guilty of war crimes. These military generals are guilty of atrocities and crimes against humanity and ethnic cleansings. And we saw yesterday in Armed Forces Day, India was also one of the countries that attended that bloody parades of military weapons. And India must stop now selling the military weapons to the military generals in Myanmar.
So, Dr. Sasa, that
killed its own.
Sure. Dr. Sasa, that actually does bring me to my next issue. There are reports that India's defense attaché was there at that military parade. I understand the context of what you're saying. But the counter perspective over here is that India has had great support from the generals in Myanmar to fight insurgency on our own eastern frontiers. It's happened over and over again for so many years. It's worked extremely well for India. Therefore, for India to look away from the generals would perhaps affect India's security interests. So that's the counter perspective here. How would you respond to that?
I think stable Myanmar is also good for India. And then, I mean, all those insurgencies, once Myanmar gets democracy and the freedom, all those kind of crimes in our soil will go away. So they have to make the choice to be with these hateful military generals of Myanmar or to be with 54 million people of Myanmar. So that is the choice to make it. If they let us down now, not helping us to build democracy, it is a win-win for India and for Myanmar. For Myanmar becoming democracy is a win for India. For Myanmar becoming the country thriving economically, stability is a win for India. So you have to have civilian leadership that is with international law, that is with human rights, justice and freedom. Once you get that, all our border will be peaceful. Everything India will benefit. That also, we know that there's a look-is a policy. It is a look-at policy now. So if India want to see look-at policy work out, they must stand with the people of Myanmar until we get democracy and the freedom.
Dr. Sasa, very strong words. One final question to you. I look at you, a diplomat in another country, fighting for freedom in your land. You come and you speak to us so openly. You must be worried about your own family members.
It's very much so. As I speak for the people of Myanmar who are being oppressed and brutally repressed and killed. Now, of course, these military generals have charged me with high treasons against the country. And I have not killed anyone. I have not done anything, war crimes or crime against humanity. These same generals are the one who is committing crime against humanity, high treasons every day. Of course, I'm worried about my life. Of course, I'm worried about my safety. But my safety is not compromised with democracy movement that is peaceful, that is non-violence. We learned a lot of non-violence from Mahatma Gandhi. He is the founding founder of non-violence policy. This time we needed non-violence policy to work out for the people of Myanmar. It has worked out for India. It must also work out for Myanmar. We need the people of India to support our peaceful movement and our non-violence movement against this one of the most brutal military regime in the world.
Dr. Sasa, this is a conversation we'll keep having because we completely understand where you're coming from, and hopefully you will be back in your country if it's as soon as it's peaceful, and that this humanitarian nightmare in Myanmar will be resolved with the support of India, perhaps in a more proactive way than what we've seen thus far. Dr. Sasa, thank you very much for speaking to us. Myanmar Special Envoy to the United Nations over there, speaking about the crisis in his country, yesterday being the bloodiest day, hundreds having been killed by the military junta.